Hi, I'm Dr. Shaunna of drshaunna.com and welcome to Superfood Spotlight. The superfood we're featuring this week is pears. Who doesn't love pears? And they are actually super healthy. So let's look at why that is. Well, they are very high in fiber. So 6 grams of fiber in one pear. That's a quarter of your daily requirement in just one pear. And one pear is about 100 calories. So a high fiber, low calorie snack is going to be a great part of any weight loss program. There was a study that found that women who had pears 3 times a day had a significant greater rate of weight loss. Might be a little excessive. There's lots of superfoods, but they certainly are a great part of a healthy diet. They're also low glycemic. In other words, it's not going to spike your blood sugar. So this is very diabetic friendly. And in fact, there's been a number of studies that have shown a decreased risk of diabetes with the consumption of pears. One study in particular found that people who had 5 pears per week had a decreased risk of diabetes. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition said that the flavonoids in the pear, so certainly the fiber is part of it, but also the flavonoids may be responsible for decreasing type 2 diabetes, and that was a study in women. So the flavonols, the flavonol's have been shown to maintain that great blood sugar. And then there was a longer nurses' health study that said of all the fruits and vegetables, apples and pears were most consistently associated with maintaining a good blood sugar. So fantastic. Now, pears are also loaded with antioxidants. They're anti-inflammatory. It's great they've been associated with a decreased risk of chronic diseases that are associated with increased inflammation and oxidative stress. So that's great. Something unique to pears is that they're hypoallergenic, and there's hardly anyone is allergic to pears. So if we look at strawberries or nuts or peanuts or some other foods, eggs, dairies, those are foods that sometimes we find people that have an allergy, but no, pears are actually considered rather hypoallergenic, and they have quercetin in them that has an antihistamine effect. It's also perhaps one of the reasons it's one of the first foods that we introduce to infants. And people who have an irritable bowel or have problems with digestion, pears usually are still included because they're very easily digested. So they're fantastic. They're also fantastic for colon health. Of course, that great high fiber is going to help. It has some insoluble fiber that's going to act almost like a bit of a laxative effect and help to clear out toxins and things that might perhaps increased risk of colon cancer, so it helps to reduce colon cancer. Now, as a cancer crusher, it's quite effective, and there's been a few studies associated with that. Now, one thing they found, I'll just back up a bit, the fiber helps to bind bile acids and lower them, and that helps to lower your cholesterol, so we're going to be heart healthy. But in addition, if you had an excess of bile acids, that's associated with increased risk of colon cancer. So by being able to remove these, that is one way, just one way of reducing colon cancer. Now, they have also found in a Mexican study that because of the cinnamic acids that are in pears, there's a decreased risk of stomach cancer. So people who had 2 fruits and 4 vegetables a day have generally a decreased risk of cancer. And in this study, they found that pears and mangoes were the 2 fruits that were most associated with the highest concentration of cinnamic acids, and so they were crediting that. And then there was a huge NIH study, National Institute of Health, with 490,000 people, almost 500,000 people, and they looked at their diets, and when you look for that long, you can start to make some conclusions. And they found that pears were associated with a decreased risk of esophageal cancer. So definitely a cancer crusher. There was a Baltimore study of aging, which looked at 1,600 people in their 60s, and they found that apples and pears had the second highest of these flavonoids. Now, if we look at the nutrients, fortunately, most of us just eat the whole pear, and that's a good thing. Try not to peel it because there's 3 times the nutrient concentration in the peels, so bring that in. And then lastly, one of the things that also is associated with pears is it has the mineral boron, which helps to retain calcium. It has vitamin K, so they're also bone healthy. So how can we incorporate these great pears into our diet? Well, the easiest is just to grab it as a snack or as a dessert. You can also use it as a topping on desserts or cereals, or on salads, or in a smoothie. One of my favorite ways is on a salad. I love that with maybe an arugula. In our Superfood meal planning service that we have this week, usually I say that our Superfood is going to be featured in 2 of our Superfood meals out of the 5 that we plan, and actually it's snuck in there into 4 out of the 5 in some way, shape, or form. So hopefully people like pears. They can always be omitted, but we've got them on salads. We've got a great pear and brie panini. Think like a grilled cheese, just kind of done upscale. We've also got a pear and Gouda stuffed chicken, and also you can roast pears. So we did a roasted pears and beets with a cauliflower risotto and on a maple salmon. So you can use it as a side dish. You can poach them, you can steam them, roast them. And of course puree them for your babies. So pears are a fantastic, sweet, healthy way to get that into your diet. So if you're looking for ways to incorporate that, head on over to Meal Cure and check that out. It's an online physician-based superfood meal planning service. We plan 5 meals out to take the stress and chaos out of what's for dinner and put the fun, joy, and ease right back in. So with that, have a fantastic week and be good for you.